Hello, sir. So you can just buy guns here whenever you want?
Yep, pretty much.
Oh, okay. How do I know which one to pick?
It's quite simple. Here, let me show you. This is a pistol, good for target practice, killing small animals and children. You can also hold them sideways like this, which I think is pretty cool. Our next option is a shotgun, best for home defense, pigeon shooting, and executing hostages. You don't want to relive that one scene from Pulp Fiction now, do you? Anyway, this is an AR-15. Despite popular belief, the AR stands for Annihilator Rifle. You can annihilate a car, a boat, your neighbor's AC unit, a densely populated crowd, not that I would personally know, but imagine taking out a group of terrorists in a matter of seconds. Beautiful stuff, really. And last but not least, we have the long barrel rifle. Now, I personally don't see much use for this weapon, except for eliminating your political opponents and maybe a deer for your Facebook once in a blue moon. But other than that, it doesn't look as scary as an AR, so people like buying them more. So with that out of the way, what would you like to buy today?
Hello, Internet. Today we are back to review the most anti-gun subreddit on Reddit. Possibly. I don't know. There's a lot of them that hate guns, if it isn't basically every subreddit. But despite Redditors simping for the most violent crime-ridden cities in the US, Redditors have a tendency to despise the one thing that could solve this problem the quickest. Pickpocket? Bang. Random gun assault? Bang. Commie LARPing? Bang. That's right, I am actually an advocate for gun violence, against criminals of course, and instead of depositing your tax money directly to Israel, you could solve this problem yourself for around $500. It would be a lot more useful than financing DoorDash for the 10th time this month. Yeah, I'm talking to you, let's see, Zion. But alas, this is American liberalism we're talking about after all. Why fix the problem yourself when you can give the government up to 50% of your income to have a slot machine's odds of solving the problem? Today, we are reviewing the most anti-gun subreddit, r/gunsAreCool. Alrighty, so here we are on the front page of r/gunsAreCool, and as usual, since this is the first time we are checking out this subreddit, let's read this section right over here. First Amendmenting the Second Amendment. Welcome to Guns Are Cool, the subreddit where we discuss the epidemic of gun violence in the USA and the real solution, that is gun control, whether gun advocates like it or not. So the real solution to the Second Amendment is to get rid of the Second Amendment. Good, got it. Unlike other subreddits, we enforce strict rules to ensure that they cannot summon all their friends to try to shut down the discussion with tired cliches they learned from the NRA. God, is the NRA even relevant anymore? This was made in, 2012? Black comedy and satire are allowed and encouraged. Ah, for real? We run a crowdsourced mass shooting tracker and have a cool wiki you can check out. Aw man, what a start to the video. Let's see. Today, guns are cool. David Keene, NRA president, 2011 to 2013. And the top rule is do not have low karma and make pro-gun arguments. It is now a federal Reddit crime to have low karma and to try to post on a subreddit. Jesus. That's not very equatorial of you, whatever the word is. Especially since this sub only has like 3,000 weekly visitors and 162 contributions. No wonder this shit is dying. Murder apologetics claiming that Zimmerman or Rittenhouse or O.J. Simpson aren't murderers is not allowed here. Go bitch on another subreddit. What do these three people even have in common? And also, Rittenhouse is absolutely not a murderer. What the fuck? He was living my libertarian dream at the time, just walking around with a gun and then some fucking pedophile chases him down and then boom, done. I 100% agree with the fact that if your city is getting burnt down for whatever fucking reason, that you absolutely have the right to go out and stand up for yourself in your city and protect the private property, aka, your community, however you please from the people trying to burn it down. I don't really care about the legality in this sense, it's more a matter of principle. And just as a disclaimer before you start this video, I get it. I know that guns are obviously a force multiplier that should be taken very seriously. And I am for trying to reduce the nonsensical gun violence that happens in the country, but those solutions, in my opinion, aren't going to be very comfortable for a lot of the people on this sub and for Redditors, because it involves getting rid of a lot of the fucking insane people, the 1 or 2% of society that just can't control themselves for whatever reason, you know? Why, give them so much grace when the innocent people are being harmed, right? Mercy to them is cruelty to the innocent, so anyway, let's get to the top post. Alright, so this is the first post I want to check out because there are a lot like them, but I'll just read it top to bottom. People need to start respecting the flag of the government I am stockpiling arms against. And this got 759 upvotes, and like I said, there are a lot of these same ones. How dare you disrespect the anthem of the country I'm stockpiling arms against? And this truly is retardation at its peak because the government of the United States is not the United States as a whole. They do not represent us, even most of the time. The founding fathers would probably be rolling in their graves more than Tolkien at this point. But this is just Redditors choosing not to understand what patriotism is. It isn't worship for the government. What the fuck? This is so stupid. Do I even have to explain this? This one pissed some people off. Talk about thin skin. Fuck's sake, this is now flagged as a brigaded post. Further gun nuttery may result in an instant ban at our discretion mod. And I like how the one person who tried to stand up to them got their comment deleted by the same mod who said brigading is against Reddit TOS moron. As if moderators never use their powers to just snipe random individuals that have an opinion they don't agree with. How stupidly ass backwards is that idea? Be anti-government but support the Constitution and threaten violence against anyone who disagrees with your warped version of the truth? Ah, yes, because we know the government is the best arbiter of enforcing the constitutional principles that the founding fathers had in mind. Only, of course, if you ignore Mock versus Garland, Vanderstock versus Garland, Garland versus Cargill, United States versus Daniels, United States versus Rahimi. You know, just to name a few on the federal level, and God forbid if we got into state level, I might have an aneurysm in this video. But yeah, anyway, government, constitution, two separate things. Let's move on. Oh wait, sorry, I saw this comment. We cannot move on. Racism is the key to understanding the views of the right-wing libertarian. They want small government because in their racist pea-brains, all the government does is to take money from the good guys, i.e. white people, and give it to the undeserving bums, black people and immigrants. At the same time, they worship the police and think the government should be tough on crime because in their minds, tough on crime means tough on black people and immigrants. They would be deeply opposed to any tough on crime legislation that would actually crack down on the most deadly and harmful crimes in America, such as corporate pillaging of the economy and environment or drunk driving. Those aren't the crimes they want to be tough on, because those crimes white conservatives love to commit. What these assholes want is limited government for themselves and a fascist police state for minorities. Right-wing libertarians make perfect sense once you realize it's all a load of horse shit and they're just racist crypto-fascists. Holy shit, this one comment alone could warrant an entire video, but I like how they're kind of self-reporting by saying that apparently the only people who commit crime are black people and immigrants. Like liberals and leftists accidentally being some of the most racist people ever will never not be funny. No, gun nuts. The CDC did not say what you keep insisting they said. Hey CDC, how many DGUs are there each year? And if you were wondering, DGU does not stand for Disc Golf United. It stands for defensive gun use, but we don't know. We haven't studied it. Oh, why haven't you studied it? That would be inconvenient. We do know that discredited researchers Gary Kleck and John Lott made claims in the 90s that billions of DGUs take place every year, but we cannot confirm or reject their work because we have not studied it. The CDC says there are 50 billion DGUs per year. Don't you trust the CDC? What the fuck even is this meme? 657 upvotes, and it's like a pizza cake comic. Like they're arguing against a straw man. But isn't it convenient that a government institution will study every single gun incident that's actually politically convenient to them, and then not study one of the most logical metrics to actually determine policy? I feel like if you think more deeply about this comic, especially the second panel, it's kind of a self-own. Seriously, the CDC has never said that. That isn't a study you're trying to cite, and the original research is junk. You can stop posting comments before actually looking at your source now. Holy fuck, this is one of the most Reddit mods I've ever seen on a subreddit. Just so arrogant and condescending every single time they post a comment that they pin themselves. Pretty sure the CDC is forbidden to study gun deaths to appease the gun lobby. Maybe I half remember. Oh, like I said, convenient. That soft ban has been lifted recently, and every study since has been overwhelmingly clear. Guns are a detriment to society. Again, how convenient that they don't even post one of those studies to prove that it is actually a detriment to society. They're just vague posting about it. But this is what gets you 72 upvotes, guys. And if you scroll down, you get, well, exactly the expected result. The one moderator just completely nuking any comment that disagrees with him, which is absolutely great. The FBI analyzed 160 cases of active shooters over the period from 2000 to 2013, and not one was stopped by a concealed carry permit holder who was not active duty military, a security guard, or a police officer. 21 were stopped by unarmed civilians. So this is where we go back to why knowing how they collected the data is important, because I read this, and if you actually look at how the study was taken, active shooters does not include people who brought a gun to like an area to shoot people. You actually have to shoot the gun for them to classify it as an active shooter. So a civilian could have shot someone before they started shooting people, and that would not count in these statistics. Also, this could be used against the idea that we have gun-free zones, because if we actually truly have gun-free zones that citizens abide by, then the only person with a gun shooting people is going to be the criminal. It's just basic logic. And then they try to cite that 12 police officers fired 141 shots at the two killers, none of which hit their targets, as if, like, that means something. I mean, yeah, they're probably gonna take cover or whatever. It's not, it's a deterrent, right? Engaging in suppressive fire means that they can't actually shoot back, which is a good thing. I could tear down this entire article, but you guys can go read it for yourself. But here we have the same mod crashing out. Sigh, another brigade. You gun nuts are really upset. Continued gun nut posting can result in a ban. As in, after this post was made. Well then, if you aren't going to respect the rules... I haven't read any comments or visited this thread before. Just out of curiosity, why would you ban someone who disagrees with you? This whole sub is created to mock a couple 100 million people. You won't even give those people a chance to speak their mind, and instead choose to ban them, essentially forcing them into silence on the topic. We do ban people, however, who partake in brigades. Well, you are the one who determines what a quote-unquote brigade is. So again, just Redditors using semantics to enforce their fucking retarded rules. I don't know what a DGU means. Defensive gun use. They're like unicorns. 24 upvotes. Holy shit, dude. This subreddit seems like hell to navigate. Every single comment removed my moderator. These are the controversial posts, by the way. Whataboutism citation needed. Oh wait, this comment isn't deleted. I carry, and it's not my obligation to stop an active shooter unless they're directly threatening me. I'm looking for the safest path away from the scene. And this is actually what they do teach you in concealed carry class. They tell you to, run, hide, fight. That's the basic rules. And this person said if someone is directly threatening you and you pull your gun, you just increased your chances of being shot. Congratulations on pretending to remain safe. Why would you pull your gun on them if they're like looking at you and like, let's say they happen not to shoot you immediately, right? Like that's fucking retarded. You wait for them to turn around and you shoot them. We've seen this happen a lot actually on Twitter if you ever go there. But if a shooter has planned to shoot someone, they probably plan to put the people in the most vulnerable position possible by blocking an exit or whatever, and then just unloading. Like at that point, I would just pull my gun out and shoot them. They're posing a direct threat. Like unless you hear the gunshots from far away, which in that case you should run. There is literally zero disadvantage to being armed in that situation, regardless of the situation, right? Like, I don't know why this is so complicated. Because open carry on the streets of Texas. If a Walmart full of Texans won't stop a mass shooting, you won't either. 629 upvotes. I don't even know what incident they're actually talking about. I looked it up. Like, this was 6 years ago, so that would be like 2019. But the top comment says police responded to the Dayton shooter within 30 seconds of the first shot. How much quicker of a response could we possibly expect? This good guy with a gun argument is a fallacy and nobody is fooled anymore. But how exactly is this a fallacy? If someone literally brings a gun into a store and starts shooting people, if those 5 people had a weapon that they easily could just access and shoot back with, how is that not a more preferable solution than them being unarmed? Like, really, why is it a fallacy? Why do we have to go through these hoops? I really don't understand. To them, it'll never be a matter if open carry actually works or not. It's a fantasy that matters, not the reality. Now, I said that either concealed carry or open carry is fine. I think it's more patriotic to open carry. You know, America, we're the country that allows the most guns, right? At least the one where the government, actually allows you to, for the most part. But most of the time, the people who shoot up these places aren't really concerned with living, so it's your job, if they're threatening your life, to end theirs. Unless they run out of ammo, at some point, a good person with a gun is gonna have to stop them. Or I guess if a group of people came up and tackled them or whatever, a bunch of unarmed citizens. But that's like a last resort scenario. You just want to end the problem as soon as possible. Ohio has several police stop the attacker in less than a minute. We still had 9 deaths. There is nothing that's a better reputation of good guy with a gun. What is actually being refuted here? The actual logistics of this argument makes 0 sense, and I will never understand it. I want to get on a call with someone who believes this and actually like talk through them and work it out. Like, well, okay, so if 0 people had a gun versus 1 person having a gun, would you want that person to have a gun if there was someone there trying to shoot you that was also in close vicinity? Like, would this person honestly say no? That person shouldn't have a gun either. Like, what the fuck? I feel like I'm either not retarded enough to understand this, or there's some type of ulterior motive for like they want innocent people to die or something. I don't get it. Stop telling me why I'm afraid of your AR-15. Anti-gun people are afraid of the AR-15 because it looks scary. No, I am afraid of the AR-15 for 4 reasons. None of them have anything to do with how it looks. 1, it is a device made to deliver flying metal with high accuracy and is optimized for accuracy and high cycle rate. 2, its cartridge, the 5.56, uses a Spitzer-shaped bullet chosen for combat due to its flight performance and tendency to yaw in soft tissue, resulting in dramatic wounding effect. 3, you. I'm far more afraid of you, the asshole with the AR-15, than I am of the rifle. When I see a cop or a soldier similarly equipped, I'm not filled with fear and dread. When I see your fat, drunk, hillbilly ass following Muslims to church and hanging out in front of Planned Parenthood, intimidating people with your freedoms, I am justifiably afraid of you killing me. This was 10 years ago, holy shit. 4, because of the implication, as a post here so eloquently put it, Gunnits are trying to say something without talking, and that something is disagree with me, and it could be the last thing you ever do. 447 upvotes. Oh man, if only we could get these people that you think are so crazy off the fucking street for good. Maybe, just maybe, but no, you guys keep voting in people who just want to put them right back on the street because, I don't know, you think they can get reformed or whatever. Honestly, the gun should be like the ultimate test. Are you able to have a gun? Would you do something crazy if you own the gun? And if the answer is no, I think you should be fine for society. If the answer is yes, then the box. Off to the box you go. I'll give you 2 options. You get a box or an island. We'll buy an island with taxpayer money that we can put all the crazy people on. Bingo. It's done. And then we'll have them just turn bigger rocks into smaller rocks for the end of time. I'm not afraid of the gun. I'm afraid of the fucking moron that thinks it's okay to carry the thing around with them to places where a gun is not needed or wanted. I think a gun is needed everywhere and wanted everywhere, obviously by law-abiding citizens. But why not? I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm also afraid of the relative ease a malcontent, crazy idiot, values voter, racist zealot, or otherwise general idiot can attain one of these weapons and shoot up whatever they think is pissing them off at the time. I get annoyed that stupid fucks believe their Second Amendment rights trumps my rights to a peaceful existence. Play with your gun at home. I don't need to be in the same room with you and your pacifier in a public place. I don't need your fucking help. If anything, I believe you're a giant fuck up that will much more likely to fuck up a non-life-threatening situation into a multi-casualty incident due to your superhero delusions. I'm not scared of the lions at the zoo, but when I see a random idiot walking one on a leash in the city, I get a little worried. Holy shit, this guy did not eat breakfast this morning when he wrote this. Wow. Also, who said you have a right to a peaceful existence? What the fuck does that even mean? So what, the government has to like bow to your every demand so that you have a peaceful existence? I think the Bill of Rights states that you have the right to pursue happiness, but this is so entitled. Holy shit. This guy needs to have a conversation with his wife's boyfriend about how rights are actually recognized because they are unalienable, which doesn't mean that they are granted by the government. It means you already are given them and that the government is supposed to recognize them. And I know damn well that peaceful existence is not in the Bill of Rights. This is the most Reddit logic thing I have read in a very long time. And in fact, I almost want to make a post about it just because of how funny it is. But anyway, if we scroll down, we see the mod again and this is one of my least favorite mods. Looks like this was too offensive for a lot of gun owners. Note to self, don't make jokes about their weight. Oh, it feels so good being right all the time, just every single day, just being vindicated. I almost want to give Redditors credit, and then I find subs like this, and I'm like, yeah, it's all basically gone. That's it. If a man feels the need to carry a gun with him wherever he goes, he's not a paranoid weirdo, but actually a responsible gun owner, taking personal responsibility for his safety. Widespread proliferation of guns has nothing to do with gun violence. Nothing at all. You European bitch liberal. You know what the real problem is? Black people, not guns. Cars, knives, swimming pools, am I right? Gun nuts have no middle ground. You're either a patriot or a gun grabber. There are no reasonable compromises or middle ground. Universal background checks? Tyranny. How did it get so bad? And this just goes to show that the left actually does not know the positions on the right whatsoever, because what is this critique? It all falls back to the same thing, racism. And also, how does caring about your personal safety make you a paranoid weirdo? What reality do we live in? I trust my fellow man up to a certain point, and unfortunately, especially nowadays, because we seem to keep letting criminals out so regularly, it seems like you're the weirdo for not wanting to be able to protect yourself to the best of your ability. Like, you voted for this. Why are you not paranoid yourself? I feel like you're the weird one for not being paranoid, to be honest. There's 100% a way to solve the gun violence problem without stomping on most people's rights. But I guess we're not ready for that conversation yet. But anyway, thank you to all my base gods, base legends, super based, and base certified members, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.